How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there? It's another week, y'all.
Hey.
Tonight with the hams, 8 p.m. Y'all come on and
Back
chime
in
on
full
in.
effect, y'all.
Y'all come on in and indulge on this particular topic we got for tonight. Y'all, how y'all doing out there? It's been a rough week for y'all. It's been a long one for me. The
last couple of weeks been long.
Man, it's been like what?
Last couple of weeks been interesting.
What? 5 a.m. wake ups all the way to 10, 11, go to sleep, and then do it all over again for 2.5 weeks straight.
Yeah.
It was a little rough, man. I was,
You've been getting.
I was falling asleep while people was talking to me and everything.
Was you?
Nah. They be like, yeah, man, they messed up. I was fall straight asleep on a brother. He trying to tell me all his woes, and I fell right asleep.
Listen, it be like that. It's been an interesting week, man. Just been a lot of crazy stuff going on, fun stuff, exciting stuff, adventurous stuff, business, opportunities, all kind of stuff. And then life be lifing. It's been good though. I mean, I honestly do not have any complaints whatsoever. And it's a good thing when you don't have no complaints.
Yeah,
I
don't have nothing to really
complain about.
Yeah, get really vocal or whatever about.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been all right. It's just been tired, sleepy.
Yeah, you've been having some long days for sure. Long days. But anyway, for those who are tuning in and don't know what they know, how they know, I am Treasure Cheltenham and I am one of the hams.
I'm Sean Cheltenham and I'm one of the hams. And y'all watching the Ham Show.
This is
the Ham Show,
y'all.
Ham Show, y'all. This is what every Wednesday night, 8
p.m. On live right here on Facebook and YouTube. All that good stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we getting it. I think we might consider the time change. Like,
you want to do a time change?
Yeah, it seems like okay. So if we come on at 8 o'clock right now, right? People towards the East Coast ain't getting us until what 10, 11 o'clock, right? Or 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah.
So it's really late for them. It's
11 o'clock for them.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But remember,
I don't know.
as
it's
of right
now,
consider, as of right now, we based on our schedule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Our schedule is pretty hectic. But
our schedule is maybe we could do another. I don't know, man. What y'all think? Y'all tell us what y'all think. Jordan said, "Wake your ass up, cuz." Y'all tell us what y'all think.
I think Jordan is on the same time as us now. Right?
Yeah, we on the same time.
We on the same time.
Time.
He's in the Arizona area, so
yeah. So yeah. I don't know, because it's like I do want people to be able to chime in and be vocal, because that's a plus.
I
don't want them to have to watch the show later.
I wish we could do a morning show. Like if we do a morning show at
that's coming
at like 9 or 10.
That's coming
while they at work, so they could just chime in while they at work. That would be, that would
coming.
Be dope.
That's coming. That would be dope. But I don't know. Maybe we could change the time. But we'll see. We'll see. What time you thinking?
In the morning or
no? I'm talking about
like 7.
7.
Yeah, just one more hour.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't know why.
I guess I could do 7. What y'all think? We're gonna
take
a vote.
The Facebook didn't post for some reason. I don't know why.
It did. I see it.
It's saying that it was an error occurred and wait a minute, then try again.
Oh, we've been having all kind of weird
Facebook
stuff going on. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook be tripping, bro. But
and
yeah,
that's why we be cutting off Facebook.
Thank y'all for chiming on in. Who hit us with the like?
Mr. Kevin Quick.
Kevin Quick, man.
Appreciate
What's
you,
up,
bro?
How you
Appreciate
doing out there,
you.
man? Thank you for the like. And if you just now chiming on in, go ahead and hit us with a like.
Hit
and,
that like.
Share it to the homies. Let them know we over here tripping.
I want to give a special shout out to people who do be watching. I've had several people tell me that they were grateful for the show, that the show was kind of right on time for them in certain moments of their life. The topics that we discuss, the things that we talk about, because in reality, it is to try to bring people together, and to understand each other better, and to deal with all of the issues that we all deal with. Like, we are all going through very similar things within our family units, within our personal life, within our careers, our jobs. Everybody is grinding. Everybody is on a struggle. Everybody is hustling. Everybody is trying to do better or do right in some way, shape, or form. And so there's been people who have told me, like, man, I caught your show and I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate you guys for doing what you're doing. And it's crazy because, like, you don't really know how many people are watching and who watches, whether it be after the fact. You have people that be watching and don't chime in. They just watch it and they listen. And that's cool too. So, you know, for those who we touched for whatever reason, no Diddy, we appreciate you for letting us know that you appreciate us. And so, you know, that's a big thing. Right there. What up, Pat? Pat is in the building. And
Pat
that's
McGinnis chimed on.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, and we appreciate you letting us know to continue to do.
Oh, it looks like he on YouTube
on
now.
YouTube
He's able
now.
to talk on YouTube now. Good,
I think
man.
Pat, yeah, Pat said no Diddy. I think Pat always was on YouTube.
Oh, okay. What was it? Chris?
It was
is
Chris.
The one that can't hit YouTube.
Chris, I think, but see,
I
Chris,
think they got him
Chris
banned.
is probably banned.
He's probably banned.
Yeah, Chris probably banned. Chris got to get a whole nother.
Chris probably, he got to come up with
YouTube, an alias,
incognito.
He gonna have to encrypt his IP address.
Yeah, he gonna have to say he from Afghanistan or something. Because
I love Chris though, because Chris be going in. Pat says I was on Facebook until just the last couple of times.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
YouTube I think is better though. To be honest with
YouTube is allowing us to be a little bit more free than Facebook. Facebook been kind of putting a tourniquet on what we got going on, and I don't know if it's the subject matter or maybe the things that we're saying or all of the above. You know what I'm saying?
But how M say the FCC won't let me be.
Right. So
it's weird, and that's why I always say, you say it's freedom of speech and it's a free country and blah 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 blah. But the moment we say the wrong word, you want to censor us. So
yeah, it's weird out there, man. I mean, we trying to, comply so we can go ahead and get off what we want to get off. But
I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to do it privately. We're going to have to just go ahead and
we're going to have our own website
and then tell people to come over there so we can say and do and talk how we want to talk. And, because at the end of the day, that's one of the things that people appreciate. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that people like, the fact that we are raw, we're real, we're transparent, and it's not scripted.
Definitely not scripted.
It ain't scripted at all.
Yeah. If it was scripted, it would be way smoother than this.
Oh, for real. What up, cuz?
How you doing, cuz?
Pat said he dig the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
until I wear the other one and then you start banging on
it. Somebody be like, man, what you got that hat on? Oh, cuz.
Like, I'm gonna give me a Boston hat and
he's just a hat guy. He likes hats.
And I'm
gonna tell y'all the real reason why
it's really
the color,
hats. The colors of the hats.
I'm gonna tell you there's two reasons.
She's fibbing.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
She's about to fib.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
What you saying then?
You don't know what I'm saying?
Say what you say.
Okay,
then.
so can I say
she was fibbing?
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
So there's two reasons that Sean is actually buying hats now. Okay, so one is that he do actually like the colors and he's trying to coordinate with his outfits, which I think is adorable. I think it's cute. But the second reason is Sean's growing his hair. And when Sean's hair isn't done or he doesn't feel like doing his hair or he don't have the time to do his hair, he does what I call a pimp named Slickback.
Well,
and he goes in and he brushes his hair all the way back, and then he
Y'all
puts
don't
his
want
hat
to see me
on.
with raggedy head.
That's of course not. But what I'm saying is, I appreciate the fact that you're starting to do that, because
What,
before,
to cover my head up?
no,
What?
to actually, consider your look, your style, your grooming methods. You know what I'm saying? You know that now he'll get fly on his own, and I'll be like, okay,
Well, I ain't working,
okay, I'll see you.
32 days straight of 12s where I just was like, I don't care. I'm putting this on and I'm going to work. I don't do that no more.
This
So,
is true.
I mean, that was like a long time it was a lot of years where I worked 12s, like 20 some days straight. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
I don't
Jordan
have
said,
to do
well, hey,
that no
this
more.
ain't in the script. Pat say it's all good.
Yeah.
He just hate the Padres.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
'cause
my brown hat.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we Dodger
Hey, Pat.
game. You Dodger
Hey,
blue, baby.
Hey, Pat, what's crazy is I ain't even know that was a Padres hat.
No, he didn't.
I just like
He
the color.
didn't.
I like the gold and the brown.
I
That's
was
all.
actually telling him, like, you can't wear certain hats in certain places. Now,
I don't watch baseball, so
you okay in Vegas? You can wear just about anything. But I'm like, when we get ready to go and travel stuff, we gotta,
I think the
we're gonna have
last
to
time I seen a
it's got
baseball
to be
game,
all black, all gray, all white.
I think the last time I actually really seen a baseball game in real life I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like,
Look,
and I don't even
say,
remember who it was.
Cuzzo say that's the Spanish in him. That's that cholo.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would like to say that I am proud of you for, kind of just saying, it's time for me to get a little clean up in here.
Well, thank you.
He been doing good by himself, y'all. Cause
she said, "Hell to the no."
Yeah, he been doing good.
What she's talking about?
Where's
she at? There she goes.
She said no Astro caps. Because Sean said Angels, baby.
Astros has got a cool colors too. I gotta see what they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Astros do. So Pat say we gotta go to a Dodger game this year. Pat, I'm with you, bro.
I'll go, Pat, but
you gotta do wave.
But I'm gonna be talking shit. I ain't gonna be there to watch the game. Like,
let me tell you something.
Baseball is hella boring to me.
Let me tell you something. When Sean is not interested in something, he will go with the group and the crowd and attend, but he will sit there and talk shit the whole time.
I'm gonna talk shit the whole time.
We went to a concert. We went to a concert,
yep.
and the first person to hit the stage was Eric Benet, yep. And he hates Eric Benet.
No, I don't hate him. He just don't have no songs that I relate to. That's all.
He said he didn't like them feminine singing men.
Yeah, he wanted them simp, that
Look, Steph said I'm late. He's been doing good at what? He's been doing at grooming himself and coordinating and
I'm just
dressing.
Like Eric Benet is a simp and simp.
The coach said, "Don't we know?"
Right. Yeah, because she was at the spot.
Well, we was in there the whole time.
She was the one that hooked us up to the show. In reality, I ain't buy tickets to this shit.
Oh my God, here we go.
My wife's homegirl bought the tickets for us. Was like, come on down and hang out with us. Or I don't know how we got the tickets or whatever. I think it was through Nicole, right?
Yes.
Okay, Nicole so we get to the spot. I'm not sure who's on the roster.
Because I know Sean was talking shit all night.
The whole
night.
And it wasn't just about the show, it was about other motherfuckers that was around us too. But I mean but look, the show, I'm at the show, right? Eric Benet's the first artist. This nigga got barely a half a hook.
Oh my God.
I think I know a hook of one of his songs.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this dude, man, like, I don't like them. Like, put it this way. He kind of like Jesse Powell. Name me 10 songs from Jesse Powell. If you could do it, then you like a really Jesse Powell music head. Right. Yeah. So Eric Benet is the same to me. Like, and then the other two, Musiq Soulchild.
What up, Chris in the building? You ain't late, bro. You always on time. What up, Adam?
Musiq Soulchild was there, and though I was a fan of Soulchild, this nigga let the crowd sing the whole song, the whole record.
He does that though.
I'm like, bro, this dude, get off the stage. If I'm gonna pay, I was sad for Nicole then for paying for the tickets. I was like,
you could just have the DJ play the song and it would have been a sing along.
Yeah, or have somebody karaoke the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell?
Nicole says, baby, he sang that song to Halle though, took his shoes off and everything.
Man, I ain't want to see his crusty toes, his waxed man chest.
He did have his chest out. He had his chest out.
Why these old timers like? Okay, so me and my wife watched the versus battle with
oh my God,
with Bobby Brown and
motherfucking Keith Sweat.
And Keith Sweat, right?
Listen,
Keith Sweat got his whole chest out. Now, though he
wait,
hold on,
he was getting it.
He
though.
like 90 years old and he still look good. You know what I'm saying? I think Keith Sweat like 90 3/4 or something like that.
Stupid.
Yeah, so like he still looked
Appreciate
good,
you, Chris.
but you could tell that the man could never sing in the first place. Like he's a studio star. That dude is not no singer for the stage.
But he did good.
No, he didn't. He was
Listen.
drunk.
Let me tell y'all something.
Man, play the footage. We gonna play.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
We gonna pull it up. But let me say this: I watched it, and first of all, I was with it because Keith came out. Keith was lit. He had this fly little, Temptation jacket on.
I think Keith was drunk before he got out the limo.
He was drunk
before he got out the limo.
They were drinking.
Anybody sing to a drink is drunk.
He showed
Keith Sweat sung to his drink.
He showed did. And Bobby Brown helped him.
And Bobby Brown can't sing worth a damn.
No, he can't.
He sounded like Uncle Cleophas.
He sat in that chair and he started.
Bobby Brown sounded like Uncle Cleophas.
I bullshit y'all now. Keith was sitting there and he was getting it. He had that shoulders going and he was like, and then he started dancing. He was on. So
I never had the pleasure of watching Bobby when he was young live. So I don't know if he could really sing at the time.
No, he sounded the same.
No, he
it's my prerogative.
He don't sound like
I can do what I want to do.
He sound like something got caught in his throat. Like he sound like he ate a frog.
He was like, we got something in common.
We got something in common. Like somebody hit him in his throat.
He did.
Yeah, he was like, whoa, too many cigarettes, bro.
But it was good. That shit was hilarious. And if y'all have not seen it,
wasn't hilarious because it was good. It was hilarious because they both of them was washed up.
Let me tell you something.
They washed up like I'm washing my jacket downstairs right now. They in the spin cycle. That's how washed up they is. Like, and they was hung out to dry. They ain't even get the pleasure of being in a good dryer.
Keith was getting it to the point where I was like intrigued. I'm like,
getting it.
He was just like,
see, that's the difference. This the difference in point of view from a woman and a man.
A
man see this and go, this dude has just lost his mind, and I know his family hate this. Like, I know.
Okay, but was he not having fun?
Who cares if he was having fun? People paid to see that.
But he gave you a show.
He gave you
that shit was entertaining because we watched it from the beginning. I want to watch it again.
I don't never want to see
it. It was
this,
so
man.
entertaining.
Only reason why I want you to play it now is so they can see all this fuckery that happened on stage.
Let me go find it.
Yeah, find the shit while I talk shit about this man.
Oh my
because
God.
he spent more time oiling his chest than warming up them vocals.
He did.
George said they both sound like a sack of laundry. You right, Jordan. I second that emotion. Anybody want to vote on that? I.
Yeah,
because that dude sound like garbage. Like, let's make it sound better. Garbage.
Look,
right?
He was killing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show y'all a brief.
And I was like, damn, I would have never did that.
Listen.
I was like, if I would have had a bad throat day, we just would have been lip singing.
I'm gonna show y'all a couple of moments that was funny as hell.
Man,
but this
dude's suit.
This intro was
he was out there clapping and stuff. Like
he was getting
swimming.
It. He was going across the stage. And then he was stopping and dancing and shit.
And my wife was like,
and I was like, hell yeah.
And I'm looking at him like, you know how you be at the store, right? You be at the Slauson Swap Meet, right? And then you walk out, you got your bags with you. And then you got the bum out there talking about, hey man, let me do something for you, man. Hey man, let me do something.
It was kind of like
that's
that.
what it was like.
It
was like seeing a crackhead talking about, I'll do something for some piece of change.
Listen, y'all want to see a little bit of this because I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show a little bit real quick.
Yeah, show them a little bit, just a little clip. That way we don't get in trouble with the music part of it.
Yeah, well, we do not own the rights.
Well, that don't matter. They be cutting us off anyway.
Culture.
This is so
we're gonna celebrate
observe and react.
Culture.
This is the reaction video.
I want y'all to check out how Keith sitting.
So I'm gonna bring
don't do this part
to the stage.
I want to see all the
two kings.
All right. You like this? I love it. Come on, here we go. Come on.
What's wrong with these dudes? Turn it down a little bit more.
How it go?
Here we go. Don't say turn, girl.
Get that shit. Get hey.
Sleep at night.
Look at it. The way he moves his head, you know he can't sing.
Tell
If you
me
move your head like that,
it's
that
a
means
lie.
you're struggling to hit that note.
And he changed his clothes. You know what
I
he did?
know
That's
it's
the way he
cold,
had to
baby, and the phone just keeps on ringing.
Second half.
Ooh, baby.
Wait, hold on. Check it out, y'all.
Boy,
This was a horrible
Well, I got
show.
this Keith Sweat.
Look at this.
Look at Keith face.
Sweat
Y'all see
all
how much
night,
he done started
candle.
drinking. Look.
Look, he got the drink in his hand.
that make it last forever.
That make it last forever.
Make you, if you can't get none with that, you ain't gonna get none.
It smells good. It smells amazing, man.
So now we gonna take this to a whole nother level,
Look at
baby. I'm gonna put your
I
Bobby
won't pay to see
brown
this.
barbecue sauce
Who want to pay to
down.
see this?
You know,
Okay.
Nobody want to
you
pay
might,
to
you can light my candle if you
Look
want.
at Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I
Bobby
wish I
Brown
had a
look like
lighter.
this with the red jacket.
Oh, I do.
But this one, we gonna do it just like this.
Get it.
My
Watch
boy
this.
Puff looking at this.
yeah.
So we gonna start this round
Because it was
two
Ciroc. It was
joint
sponsored by Ciroc.
off
So
just like
what?
this. You know, ain't no more sitting down now. This is where it gets real good, baby.
This is where it all comes.
This is where the
comes
fire,
down
you
to
know,
this one.
get you stretch, because you're going to need to stretch on this.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
I hope so.
Where
All
did
right,
it start at?
let's go, baby.
Hope so.
Step on stage, girls scream like I'm king. Step on stage, girls scream like I'm king. Step on stage, girls scream like I'm king. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm.
What dance is that?
Hey,
That dance is called Terminator.
Okay,
That's Terminator right
get it,
there.
Kenny. Come on.
It's a party out there.
Yeah. Come on.
He's got Bobby Brown in his life.
Let's go.
Give it up, she's so bad.
Oh my God.
Hey, where's my favorite part at?
I didn't expect to go to
Somebody scream.
Let's go.
See you last night, saw you standing there.
He sounded like he
Couldn't picture the color of your hair. And all I wanted to know.
He sound like his tongue is 2 times bigger than it used to be. He's like,
Look,
something in the air.
wait, Chris said. Chris said, I don't know. I think I would have enjoyed this show. They are classics. Look at old school rock bands. They come in town. Hell, I went to Deep Purple concert.
Yeah, but
when I
they be
first
having
moved to
real
Vegas.
like they be playing. They don't be singing to the backtrack.
Man, listen, the show was lit. The show
Man,
was
that shit was horrible, man.
Mhm.
But anyway, if y'all ain't had a chance, go watch that Keith Sweat joint because
That shit was good.
Yeah,
He Pat said this where the rubber meets the roads. It looks
Right.
like the road smacked both of them guys.
Hey, I just want to say thank you, Adam LaRosa for the like, Chris Thiesgen for the like, Kashawn Barnett for the like, Kevin Quick Smith for the like, and then I think we got a love from John Hargrave. Thank you for the likes. and the love.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
listen,
y'all for chiming
We
in.
gonna go on and get into what this show's about tonight, because you stupid.
Sorry for the tangent, y'all. Sorry for the tangent.
We're gonna get into what this show's about, man. So tonight we're talking about men versus women and understanding double standards. So we got some videos we're gonna get into and show y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna do some reaction videos and
Yeah, this
hopefully we don't piss nobody off.
oh,
And if
it's
you- and if you-
going to happen.
And if you do, okay.
So listen, let me
It is what it is.
let me give you a disclaimer right now. Tonight's show and next week's show is going to ruffle some feathers. But that's what it's about. It's about getting to the basis of things so that we can be better in how we deal with each other, how we speak to one another. Because I'm big on respect, dude. Like that's one of my biggest things. I can talk to anybody about anything, about any situation. I can hear you out. We can have a conversation. But the moment you become disrespectful, it's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a shutdown. So, but tonight we finna get into it. It's gonna get a little crazy. This first video, I gotta go back and see who it is. But yeah, this first video, let me go ahead and just roll this bean footage so y'all can see what's going on. Check it out. This is gonna
A
start.
video the other day that's been playing over and over in my head. A young man asked the older gentleman, "What's the one thing that you wish more women understood about how men operate?" He sat there for a second and then he said, there's 10,000 more things going on inside a man's head than you'd ever imagine. He said he's carrying burdens you don't see. He's trying to figure out how to solve problems, how to make sure everyone is okay. And most of the time, he doesn't know how to express it. He's afraid that if he says something, he'll be shot down or made to feel weak. I was like, wow, he's 100% right. That thing hit me because it's not just true, it's a lived reality for so many men. The world doesn't leave a lot of room for men to say, I'm struggling. A lot of men were taught from day one that is your job and your purpose just to figure it out, to hold it in and to never let anybody see the cracks. But the weight of that is heavy. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to share. It means he's scared of what happens if he does. Ladies, I want you to know that this isn't about excusing anybody's behavior, but it is about understanding that sometimes the man that you love isn't distant because he doesn't care. He's quiet because he's processing. He's holding on to things he doesn't know how to explain yet. And what he needs from you isn't fixing, it's safety. It's space to feel like he could say, I'm not okay. And you'll just listen, not judge, not dismiss, just listen. And fellas, here's what I leave you with. Silence won't save you. Carrying everything alone won't make you stronger. It'll break you. But finding the courage to speak, that's what will set you free. And that doesn't make you weak. What it does is give you the room to finally breathe. And anyone who can't honor that deserves to stand beside you as you do. I saw a video the other day that's been playing over and over in my head. A young man.
If I'm allowed to kind of speak on this first, what I found interesting about this video is that a lot of what he said is what my husband later told me in years, right? We had conversations, and one of the things that stuck out the most was that, you know, men will hold things in because they don't want the woman or anyone to kind of throw it back at them and use it against them when they're being vulnerable enough to actually share their thoughts and share their emotions. And you have a lot of men and women are not emotionally intelligent. And, you know, we'll get into emotional intelligence later on, but when you are emotionally intelligent, you understand your emotions and you understand someone else's emotions, and then you move accordingly because you have an understanding, even though the emotions may not even be the same. So I get it when a man says, when he doesn't speak or when he doesn't talk about specific things because he's processing. And that's one of the things that I've always even tried to teach my girls as I learn things. That's what you're supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to teach the people that are your family, your friends, your kids, your loved ones. You're supposed to come and teach them things as well. So that's one of the things I try to teach the girls as well, is that when you're dealing with men are not quiet because they're invalidating you or anything like that. They're quiet because they're thinking. And even with my husband, there's been times when he was quiet in his thought process because he knew that whatever he was about to say was going to be important. However, he don't want it to come off wrong, where it starts a whole nother argument. So sometimes he will hold stuff in, because I would ask Sean all the time, you okay? You good? What's wrong? What's going on? And, you know, we'll talk about it later, but sometimes he wouldn't tell me. So that video for me kind of resonated in that sense of understanding, because I see that in men, especially with my husband. I see it with my husband. I see it with men around me. I see it with family. I see it with, you know, in general. And I kind of was like, damn, this really is a thing that you guys do. But yeah, I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in on that and just say that, because this is Women's Month, you know, shout out to us. I want to bring these topics up to help women better understand men and help men better understand women, because we are different. We're supposed to be different, and things are different for us. So, baby, I don't know. What's your take?
You know, if this how I see it. If a dude don't tell you what's on his mind at the moment, he's probably thinking of a solution or the best way to go about it. If he don't tell his girl or his wife or you know, his sister or whatever, it's because it's almost most of the time when you talk to a female or a woman, they're not necessarily, they're listening to respond instead of listening to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So we know you're gonna do that. So and our men's first priority to themselves, what they hold dearly is peace first.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna tell her so she can take one of the words I said out of the whole fucking sentence,
Turn it into something
turn it
else.
into something else, and then you be like, nigga, I should say, can you make me a sandwich and a drink and then watch TV? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Because of how we listen.
because 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
you're gonna listen to what I say, take one word,
And then turn it into something
turn
else.
it into some
that it's
weird
not.
ass shit, and then I'll be like, I ain't say that.
And no, and you're right. And it's funny because the more I sit and be quiet and watch, because even with our children, it happens. Like you'll say something and it's like they'll take something from
One word,
something that you said.
one
and
word
then-
that was triggering.
right. And then it's like it's triggering because it's something that you have to deal with personally, and it has nothing to do with what you said.
Yeah,
And it's like, wait a minute, that's not what I said.
So
Because it happens to me too.
if something has to be corrected, everybody instead of everyone worried about I'm being corrected, I should listen to the correction. They worried about how the correction is presented.
And that's
And
always
that's
been a thing.
bullshit.
Yeah. And then we talked about that before. That's always been a thing. You're worried about how something is said instead of what is being said. And that's the thing that is hard sometimes, because if you understand being emotional, because men are emotional as well. And when you're dealing with a man who has emotional intelligence, that's a beautiful thing. And a woman who has emotional intelligence. So if you have two, you're winning. But when you're dealing with somebody who is telling you something, whether it be for your own good, whether it be something that you don't necessarily want to hear, whatever that may be, if it's advice, an opinion, and then you take offense to it because you say it's a certain tone or whatever, instead of listening to what's being said, you have to go, wait a minute, but what that person said was valid. I ain't like how they said it, but what they said was valid.
Right. And so vice versa, I'm gonna get to Chris in a minute. Vice versa, like when a dude is listening to a woman, we looking in our mind like we listening and we not saying nothing. We like, I would have never got emotional over the shit she just talking about right now.
Right.
We'd have been like, nigga, like that's every day. The problem that you making a mountain out of is a molehill every day for a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
we don't get into that.
So we looking at it like, okay, so you know what I'm saying?
And so for us, we look at it like, what you mean? Okay.
We do that shit every day.
Right.
That's every day. You know what I'm saying?
And for women,
So-
we're not understanding what, like we
your
truly don't
affliction happens to a man every day.
and we truly don't understand the burdens that you carry or none of that. Like we both carry burdens. I carry burdens as a woman and as a mother. He carries burdens as a man and as a father. So what's up, Cammie? So, but we truly don't understand each other's burdens. And I think that's part of the problem, even with the double standard, because understanding that there's going to always be a double standard, and that's just what it is.
That's just what it is. That's the matrix we live in.
It's always going to be
no matter
that.
what. The
You
dude
just
gonna
gotta-
have to have way more responsibility than the woman. No matter how
You got to navigate through it.
Right.
You got to navigate through it.
And so Chris says,
I think it's a reflection of the imbalance between the accountability standards between men and women. It's not the same.
right. And then he also said behind that,
Men will pay for their actions or inactions, and will their feet
be held to
be
the
held
fire.
to the fire.
Yeah.
Women, they can make mistakes and everyone wants to rescue them.
True.
That
right.
is absolutely
And then the last thing
true.
you said was
Nobody will rescue a man that messes up.
exactly.
That is absolutely true.
And then Cammy says, "Hey, fam, what up, Cam?" But yeah, Chris, I agree with you totally. I mean, everything you just said is what I discussed with my wife maybe 4 hours ago.
Case in point,
Yeah.
in the state of Nevada, a single mother can go down to the welfare office. They will give her food stamps immediately. They will give her bus pass or tokens or whatever to get around. They will try to find childcare for her and will even give her financial aid.
And then who do they charge for that?
The men.
The man that's involved with that child that she's
Right.
seeking services for.
Now, if a man goes down there and does the same thing, the only thing they will give him is food stamps.
Hell, my baby,
Which is
my baby
crazy.
mama and my wife would have to be dead for me to get the other stuff.
Mhm.
If she was alive, they'd be like, "Oh, you getting this food stamps."
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and even then you got to even show proof. You got to be like,
You
well,
gotta be
this
like,
woman
"Here, this
is-
death
here's the death certificate. Like you got
all a woman got to do is go down there and say, "This is what's happening." Oh,
just
hold
show
on.
up.
Hold on.
Just show up.
Let me give you all this stuff. Let me give you all this stuff.
Yeah, just show up. So I mean, it's definitely a double standard. Now this next video gonna ruffle some feathers for sure.
Yeah, bring on the nice bean footage.
This is gonna ruffle some feathers for sure.
Hey, hold on before you start the next video, right?
Uh-huh.
The dude you had in the other video, he had a hat on. So did he not do his hair?
We're not talking about him.
I'm just saying, he had a hat on. He
We're
didn't do his
talking
hair.
about you, sir.
No, man.
We're talking about you.
I want equality and equity in everything we do now.
Oh my God. Oh my. So this guy is
So
going in.
this is the dude from Fresh and Fit from back in the day. Well, not too far back in the day. I think the middle of last year's when they podcast got shut down. I think his
That's
name
crazy.
is Myron from Fresh and Fit. But this is like, I think this is a new channel
that he's doing.
that he's doing or whatever. But y'all check this out. Listen to this.
Yeah, let's get it.
Got a guy that takes you seriously. You don't have some type of that is willing to die to protect you, bitch, it's your fucking fault. It's not ours. I'm tired of this shit. Why is everyone sitting here coddling women from their poor fucking decisions? If you want to be a fat hoe, fantastic. But don't expect me to sit here, bust my ass, become a self-made multi-fucking millionaire, get my clout up, get my status up, and accept you, bitch. Fuck out of here. Because when I was 18 years old, playing fucking Halo, figuring out my life, no bitch would have taken me. So now that I'm up, you're down, fuck that shit. I'm going to exercise the leverage. If you don't have a
Let it roll
boyfriend, if you don't have a husband, if you don't got a guy that takes you seriously, you don't have some type of man that is willing to die to protect you, bitch, it's your fucking fault. It's not ours. I'm tired of this shit. Why is everyone sitting here coddling women from their poor fucking decisions? If you want to be a fat hoe, fantastic. But don't expect me to sit here, bust my ass, become a self-made multi-fucking millionaire, get my clout up, get my status up, and accept you, bitch. Fuck out of here. Because when I was 18 years old, playing fucking Halo, figuring out my life, no bitch would have taken me. So now that I'm up, you're down, fuck that shit. I'm going to exercise the leverage. If you don't have a
So first
I'm
of
not
all,
quite sure if this is a crash out or he was just passionate about. It's a borderline between crashing out and then being passionate about something. And he was right there. Like he was like,
that's why
you know what I'm saying? Like,
But you know what
like
it
if he
was?
would have breathed, his head would have just went boom.
you know what it was?
I
I'm
think he was frustrated.
gonna tell you what it was. I'm gonna tell you what it was. I felt him though.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you why I felt him. I got where he was coming from.
Yeah, what he was saying
What he was saying,
valid.
what he was saying, and this was the reason why I kind of led into this about you may not like how it's being said, but you need to consider what's being said. Because he got to the point where he was so frustrated and upset where he was like, I'm sick and tired of this. He's like, if you choose to be this chick that is negative and doing all this stuff, you want to be a fat hoe, that's fantastic. But don't get mad at me because I don't want to deal with you because I done worked hard and got myself to a certain point, and now you want to come leech off of me and make it seem like, oh, I'm not selecting you because you will want whatever.
Well,
so
you can't give your best to everybody else
you can't.
and then try to give what's left to the dude that's doing his thug thizzle. Like that don't make sense. He ain't gonna want to pick that.
Cammy said, I agree with him.
That's like getting a used vehicle with toe-up seats and
With bad tires and shit.
and coffee stains on the dashboard, and Yeah, you don't
Ke-
want to. You don't want to deal
Kemi
with
says,
that.
I agree with him. Though when you're down, don't nobody want you, but once you get up, then everybody in their goddamn mama wants you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
for sure.
that's true. And that's the
Back
thing.
then, they ain't want me.
Like, you don't want to be a part of the struggle or the hustle or the grind to get to a certain point. You want to reap the benefits of the fruits of my labor, and you didn't help me labor, or you wasn't supporting me to get to this point of the labor, right? Chris says, this is why I don't even try with women anymore. Done with the bullshit with women. And that's the thing. You're going to come across one that's going to make you go, wait a minute, she's different. Because they do still exist. They
You just got to sift through the weeds.
Yeah, man.
The weeds is high though.
Jordan
The
says,
weeds is high out there in the streets, y'all.
Jordan says, man, he was upset.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote, if you want to be a fat hoe, fantastic. No, and listen,
He should have said fantastic.
no, for real. And I understood, like I say, he was harsh in his delivery, and he was harsh
You
again.
can tell somebody put him in that spot.
Somebody pissed him
like
off.
whatever was said before,
it
and
got
that was
to
just
that.
the excerpt of
Yes.
whatever. Like,
Yes.
and I didn't
I'm
watch
quite
the
sure-
whole video.
I'm quite sure he didn't start off that way.
Yeah, normally he don't start off
You
like
know?
I've seen a lot of his videos
Uh-huh.
because he came after the the
The-
Kevin Samuels
Okay.
type of thing going
Mhm.
on,
Mhm.
and he's usually smoother until someone says some fuck shit, and then he turns into that. You know
That's
what I'm
just
saying?
like everybody though.
Yeah.
You're usually cool, calm, and collected until somebody says some shit, and you be like, you know what? Hold on. Then you just lose
yeah,
it.
and that's what it
We
sound
done
like.
crashed out on here before.
That's the way he sounds.
He done borderline crashed out. I done crashed out because you get to the point where you're passionate, right?
Yeah.
You're passionate about what you're saying. You're passionate about what's going on. You're passionate about delivering and relaying the message. And it's like, dude, I just need you to just fucking listen to me right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Chris says that's exactly where I'm at. Every woman I meet needs to be rescued. She brings nothing to the table. And so we were talking about that before, Chris, where women think that because they have a lot of money or they have a really good paying job, they have a career for themselves. And listen, ladies, this is Women's Month. This is our empowerment month. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But again, men are not seeking you because you have a great career and you're doing the same shit. That's what they do on a regular. That's a regular day for them.
That's like saying that I got 15 degrees.
But you're not using none of them.
No, it's not even that. It's like I heard recently when I watch shorts or YouTube or whatever, I'm hearing a lot of women talk about their degrees of accolades and why they're not being paid what they think they deserve. People don't get paid off your degrees. They get paid off their network and their knowledge of using that network. Now, if your degrees have got you to a network that has made you strong and powerful in the thing that you do, then yes. But just because you tell me, like, I know mechanics coming out of college right now, I would never let them touch my car.
Right.
Like,
right.
Just because you didn't got a degree don't mean you know shit.
I had that same situation when I came out here to Vegas, right? I was doing security and I spent quite some time in a managerial role. Like, I ran a company. I did business proposals. I did walkthroughs. I did contracts. I worked with Rudy Giuliani.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did those things. And when I got out here, one company did not want to promote me to a higher position because I didn't have a degree. And they wanted to take someone who was fresh out of college and place them in a role above me. And I'm thinking, that's cool and all, but they don't even know half of what I know.
Let me tell you why that happened. It's because they were moldable to what they wanted them to be. That's why that happened.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't telling you that you wasn't worth what you were asking.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling you that you're not moldable because you've already been molded.
Right.
And we're not looking for that.
Right.
We're looking for someone that we can say, this is how we want
you to do it this way, and they're going to do it.
Right.
And I know, and that's something that I knew and recognized as well.
Right. Because the like, I don't think when someone says, well, I got all these degrees, why don't I have that job? You don't have that job because you're missing a key point.
Absolutely.
You're missing a key point. You might not be likable. It has to do with persona.
That's like with our job. You could be the best,
It's every
whatever.
Job. It's every
But
job.
if we don't, like, we work long hours together. If you're not likable, you gotta go.
If you don't smile, people ain't gonna mess with you. They ain't gonna want to. If they don't want to come talk to you, that means you'll never move up anywhere in that business.
Yep, absolutely.
Because business is network.
Business is relationships.
It's network.
It's
It's relationship.
It has nothing
if you
to do with
can't,
nothing else.
if you
but
can't
that.
start a fresh relationship from a cold call,
Right.
Why am I hiring?
Why do
you?
I need you?
What am I hiring you for?
I was explaining to my daughter the other day. We were talking about money, and this is real quick. This is a side conversation. But we were talking about money, and I was explaining to her that money has absolutely no value, and that she was confused. She was like, "You know what I mean? It doesn't have value. It does have value." I said, "No, it doesn't." I said, "If you set $100 bill right here on the table, what is it worth? What type of value does it bring?" She was like, "Well, it's $100 bill." I said, "But it ain't getting up, walking out the door, doing nothing for me."
Right.
I said, "I got to get up and go walk out the door and do something for it."
Right.
Thus, I'm the valuable one, right?
Right.
So, and I explained to her, even with jobs, I'm like, she said she would hire someone who, if they came in an interview and she asked them, why are they there? And they say, well, I'm here to, just to make some money. She said she would hire them for that. And I said, well, I would not.
What was for the job though?
It's just in general. Like if you come in to sit down for your interview.
Who said that?
The Kyla did.
For what job?
It's just in general. We were just talking about in general.
So
like
because some of those jobs, okay.
I think so. If you're this is how I set it up. I said, if you're an employer, and I sat down with you and like, well, I'm just here to make some money. I'm here for the money.
But it takes, so see what that would tell me. That's why I asked you what type of job is it?
I said just in general. Because I told her,
just in general, I wouldn't hire that person.
And that's what I told her.
If it was a Walmart job, I'm like, they broke. They gonna be here for a while. They struggling. So what the task that I give them, they ain't gonna complain. They just gonna do it, and they're gonna collect.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
This is what I told her.
That's why I said it depends on the job.
This is what I told her. I says, when you sit down, especially if you with a big company, and you tell them I'm just here for the money, then that's telling them that you can be bought. That means you're not going to stay long. If somebody else offers you more money, you're going to get up and go.
Right.
And so if I'm here to build a business and a corporation, I want long-term. I want longevity.
Right.
I want
so
people that's loyal.
So you should be talking about synergy, network.
You should be talking about helping
build.
Exactly. I want to become a part of whatever it is here.
Yeah.
I want to become,
and that don't mean that you're not going to leave. That just means that you just, this is what I'm here to do.
It's chess.
This is exactly what I'm here to do. Let's read what Chris got to
Chris says, ha! I call BS, Treasure. There are these accomplished women. All I meet are broke ass women suffering from their horrible life decisions. Middle-aged women in their 50s that still don't have their shit together, need to be rescued because they never accomplished anything in life.
Chris, you might want to change your atmosphere because, like, okay, so when I was at the women's thing, right, that you got the awards for,
yes,
pretty much every woman in there's maybe 2 or 3 ratchets up in there.
Yes.
There was 200 people there, and they was mostly women. I say 90% women, and every one of them women in there was driving a really nice car, had really nice houses, had very expensive jobs,
had
husbands and stuff like that.
Families.
So I think you just need to, change your outfit, put your 007 on, and go to those type of events.
Because you are
what
you attract.
Yeah, you are what you attract. Yeah. So you'll find a better demographic of the girls that you're looking for.
Because again, there are women who still know how to be wives and be in their femininity, who make a lot of money and who are successful. Mm-hmm. They're just looking for the man to be there.
They're looking for somebody who can go to the company dinner with.
Right.
And if you don't fit that part, it does,
right.
You gotta fit that
Chris
part.
says, personally, I don't think college degrees mean anything. Some of the dumbest people I've ever met have college degrees. My ex-wife, 4-year business degree, and couldn't maintain a budget to save her life. She was educated.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like I went to college shortly for a business degree, which was
I don't know why people go to college for business degrees. If you're not going, okay, so if we're going on the college route, if you're not going to college for a STEM type learning environment, And when I say STEM, it's an acronym for,
Science, technology, electronics, and medical,
and medical or
something like that.
mathematics.
Yeah.
So science is medical. So mathematics. If you're not going any of those, what you going to college for? Like everything else is pretty much underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, because you
You're
go
paying for college for nothing. All the rest of the stuff,
Yeah.
if you're not in STEM, all the rest of that stuff, you can get a certificate, a 2-year degree or whatever on that. Save your money. Don't spend $250,000 and be in debt to Fannie Mae and Sally Mae and all the Mays.
Yes.
And
yes, absolutely.
And then just go directly to work right out of college. Or pick a trade.
Because sometimes that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen for people. And there are some people who are fortunate enough to go to college, come out of college, and go right into their field. But for the most part, the likelihood of that is very slim in this world.
You're right, Jordan. Being a team player is important.
Yep, very much so. Cammie says, I'm sorry, but a degree does not mean knowledge. So
You're
with
right.
that being seen, I can learn the same thing that somebody has a degree and do it better because I want to promote myself and I have the attitude to want to do better.
Right.
Just because I got the degree, my attitude bad, nobody gonna work with me. This is absolute, because I've met these people.
We've seen it. Yeah,
I've met these people, and you're absolutely correct. Chris says I never could get a job through the interview process. Job interviews and meeting women, the code words I can't get right. And so here's the thing, it's all about kind of studying too, women, and that's why we do shows like this, because we want to better understand each other. The whole thing is for us to come together to be on one accord so that we can kind of stop these vicious cycles, because we have cycles in every culture, every community, every family, and it's time to kind of put the best foot forward to kind of stop these cycles so that we can be better in this world. And so, Chris, the thing with you that I like is that you are who you are. You don't put on a facade. You don't pretend to be something you're not. So the beauty of it is that when you do meet the person that is for you, you've already given who you are. And when you give your representative, because I tell people all the time, you can give me your representative all day. That's fine. But the type of person that I am and my energy and my spirituality is going to dig on you to show me who you really are within minutes. And when you do, I'm going to say, okay, so that's the real you. And that's cool. But I would rather you show me who you really are than not.
George say you got to be a part of the team. I agree with that.
Yep.
If you're going to work for a company, you're signing up to be with the team.
Exactly. Exactly.
Unless you're building your own thing. You
exactly.
know what I'm saying?
If you build your own thing, then you do you, boo-boo.
Team player is always important.
He says, yes, these accomplished women had husbands. They weren't single. Right. Good evening, Miss Margie in the building.
Margie in the building. It's good to see you again, love.
Chris says, I'm a high school dropout. I have yet to be with any woman that makes more money than me. Not one. And again, it's not about necessarily the money. Because Chris, for you, it don't matter. I know for my husband, it don't matter how much money. And that's something that I try to explain to women, that it's not about the money that you make.
Not necessarily. I mean, like, unless
depending on what you're trying to do.
Unless you, but the thing is that don't nobody want to be with somebody who is untrainable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're trying
you're gonna trigger somebody on that.
If you're trying to be around somebody or be with somebody and make some type of union or whatever you're trying to do, you got to know who you're messing with. You got to learn, you got to be trained on what they like.
You got to vet them.
You got to vet them. I mean, it's a part of it. So like, if you're not a team player in that aspect, then of course you're going to get kicked off the team. You're going to open your locker one day and it's going to be a red flag up in there.
Come on now. Flag on the play.
Yeah.
Margie says, I started college for law and thought I could complete it when I thought I was in love. I wish today I could stay there.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like when you have somebody who is very supportive of what you want, your dreams, your hopes, your desires, they support you to go be a better version of you, because ultimately you're going to make the home better. So we don't frown upon people getting knowledge and getting degrees and placing themselves in positions to make good money and to be in a world where life can change for the better. We don't frown upon that. We want to push that. We want to promote that. So if you're with the right person, they're going to push you to do that. Chris says, oh, yes, it's about the money, Treasure. The question I ask myself anytime I meet a woman, how much are you going to cost me?
Yeah, Chris, man, you might as well just go bowling or something, bro. Like,
Ah!
like
He
you
said, how
can't-
much you going to cost me?
you can't approach everything like that. Like, just don't. You don't have to think that. Just don't open your pocket up. That's all you got to do is just say, hey, don't. Just, you know.
I agree, baby.
Yeah,
Because
right.
you have the control of that.
Right.
And so we had a conversation about a week or so ago
I don't remember.
where we were talking about dates that do not require spending money.
Oh yeah.
That is
Yeah,
so
I
foreign to
remember
him.
that. Yeah.
It's so foreign to Sean. Sean is like, what? I don't know how to do that. I'm like, baby, if you know what I like. So I said, okay, think of some things that I like. So I started kind of saying, okay, he said, well, you like nature, you like outdoors, you like food, you like to eat. I said, okay, bet. We can go have a picnic in the park. That's a little date. We're getting some vitamins D, we getting some sun, I'm getting grounded, I'm putting my feet in the grass. We're eating what we want to eat. All of it cost us was a little bit of gas money to go to a park, sit in the grass and just chill and express ourselves and be in nature. And he looked at me like, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. He's like, nah, I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's not in my book of oh, this is fun to do. Like that,
But I'm simple though.
But no, what I'm saying is it's your fun, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can't expect me to think that up because it's not fun for me.
And so that's why I said you gotta kind of think about what you would do and what you would want to do. And he was like, I got nothing. I got nothing. Let's go into this next bean footage we got.
He said, fuck that shit. It's going off.
So this next one, this next one is with the late great Kevin Samuels.
Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, man.
This dude was a pioneer and he did it the right way.
Yeah.
He wasn't too far left, too far right with it.
The crazy thing is
He
what I
did it the
always
right way.
noticed with
And
him.
women hated this man.
What I always noticed with Kevin is that the way he spoke, he didn't really trip out. He didn't raise his voice. He said some real shit. Now,
and I like this real Melanie King chick. I've seen a lot of her videos, and she keeps it 100 too.
So let's get into it, y'all. Let me go back so I can pull up the right situation here. Check it out.
The truth these days. Men get told the truth all the time. Women have no problem telling a man, I don't want an average man. It happens every day on my show. TLC said they don't want no scrubs, and we have no problem telling average men, you ain't crap. But if I just happen to have the nerve to agree with the woman that says she's average, then I'm Satan. I think that's interesting.
Women have no problem getting online talking about how men ain't ish, men are dogs, men, if a man isn't this tall, if he doesn't make this much, if he's too short, if he doesn't have a big D, if he doesn't have, buku money, if he can't give her the lifestyle that she wants, then he has no value. And we wonder why men are so frustrated, tired and done with relationships, tired and done with marriage, and they're focusing on themselves. And if you tell a woman the truth, if you actually say something, you get labeled with all these different things, and you are basically crucified.
So that's interesting because, again, I've seen it with my own eyes. The moment a man says something that a woman does not like, even if it's the truth, whether they're in a relationship, it's a family, it's a friend, it's a sister, cousin, whatever it may be, the moment he says something that she doesn't like, even if it's true, he is crucified. He has no comeback.
Be quiet.
Going back to what we said before,
That's exactly why they be quiet.
He has no comeback for it. He is the scum of the earth. How dare you? Blah, 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 blah. And it goes back to something that I speak on a lot. I'm like, you know what? We get so emotionally caught up in how something is said to where we're not looking at what's being said. We're looking at why you say it like that. Why are you talking like that? It's like, well, I'm talking like this because I'm passionate about what I'm saying. And here's the thing, the source. If I'm talking crazy, it's because you brought crazy to me. Because 9 times out of 10,
that's just you. Some of these Joneses out there, they be.
I'm talking about like when I talk to a man, like when we and you have a conversation and we are cordial and respectful, even though we may not agree, you don't talk crazy to me.
No, but that's you and I.
But what I'm saying is,
look, I didn't been in situations where, yeah, what you talking about, and a mug just went off on what the hell just happened.
You were being respectful, you were being cordial, you didn't have no tone, and a person responded with some bullshit, and you just like,
check, please. I was like, check, please, fool, hurry up.
Yeah,
hurry up before I walk out.
That. Yes. I've seen that.
What?
I've seen that. I've definitely seen that. What is Cammy says she says the money free dates are fun. Yes, they are.
Yeah, but see, y'all missing the point. That's what y'all think is fun. You can't expect me to dream that up.
Right.
That's where the problem lies.
Right.
Oh, well, you don't do this. You don't do that. Nigga, I don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want that done, say something.
Right.
That way you can be happy.
Or
because if I want to do something, I'm going to say, this is what I want to do. And whether you pay for it or not, I'm going to pay for it.
Right.
Right?
Right. This is what I'm going to do.
Right. So if you want something done, say, hey, this is what we doing on such and such. And I'm cool. I'm down. I'll show up. I'll lay the blanket down. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'll open up the box and pull the sandwiches out or whatever the hell's in there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to dream that shit up.
Right. Not at all. Not even today with knowing what you know.
Well, look, I know a little bit more now, but what I'm saying is that
like prior to our conversation, that wasn't something that you would.
Fuck no. I was like, nigga, you need to put out a bullet point list of shit that you want to do. That way it can look like I dreamt it up. And then I'll be like, yeah, number one, we're gonna do this on this month. I'm gonna say that to myself and say, hey, just show up.
Right.
And that way you can go, oh, he's thinking so much about me. Yeah, I care enough for you to be happy. But y'all want us to care more to dream this shit up. It don't make sense. Like, I want you to be happy and I'll fulfill whatever you got going on.
Right.
But just tell me what the fuck you
tell
want.
me what you want me to do.
Yeah.
But you were also raised that way. You were raised on a, hey, here's your clothes. Go put them up. Where I was raised on a, come on, let's go pick out you some clothes that you can go try on.
Yeah, I was too busy as a child.
You were told everything.
Right.
You were told what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
I was a little too busy for that.
Your dad, your mom walked in the room and says, hey, this is what we doing today. Get up. We finna go do this.
Well, they wouldn't say put this suit on or whatever. They say you going to school. And I'd be like, all right, school clothes. This right here is school clothes.
Right.
I'd grab out a uniform or whatever.
He said a uniform.
Yeah, and then go to school. When they would say, we going to church on Sunday with my mom, because my mom used to make me go to church on Sunday when I didn't want to go. And she's like, we going to church on Sunday. I had 5 suits, and I knew that somewhere in there, I was going to have to mix something up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they didn't control it like that. I just never went shopping. When I did go shopping, it was with my grandma.
Right.
But she still bought what she wanted to buy me. It was always some Brooks Brothers type stuff, penny loafers. Like, you know, she wanted a gentleman. She didn't want to buy me stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So she bought what she thought I should look like.
Auntie in the building. She says that can work just the opposite. Some men are disrespectful to a woman. Sean is a cool man. Every man is not like that.
True. I agree. That's my auntie out there, y'all.
This is true. And that's the thing we're talking about. And that's why, going back to the emotional intelligence, when I know my husband can come home, this is an example of emotional intelligence. And I'm going to give you an example for him, both of us. My husband can come home. I can feel the energy. I know his day wasn't that great. I know something happened, whether he wants to talk about it or not, or there was something on his mind or something has happened. And it usually deals with the family most of the time when he's in this space. But he can come home and I'll go, hey, baby, how was your day? And he goes, it's all right. You know, but I know that that's a lie. So what I try to do is give him as much peace as I possibly can to allow him to decompress in a safe space. Excuse me. And then we have our pillow talk when we try to, because sometimes that's the only time that we can actually talk. And, then I'll kind of make sure that he understands that he's in a safe space to be able to articulate what's really going on, what's bothering him, and then he will open up. Vice versa. He will sense and feel that my day is hectic, it's bad, it's that time of the month, whatever it may be. And he'll say, hey, you need me to, I'll run you a bath when you get home. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And so I used to be like, nah, I'm cool. But then I stopped doing that because I knew that he knew better. And when I would allow him to take that on and do that for me, it would actually make me feel better. And then we would talk about it, whether he rubbed my feet and fell asleep or whatever. Because Sean,
she only gonna get it. I work 12s. You're only gonna get about a good hour and 45 minutes. So
you better use your time wisely.
You better get it in, because after that, I'm gonna be middle of the conversation. You gonna,
Well, and the thing about it is, we give each other peace. So like, if he's near me, I can sleep, I can rest. If I'm near him, he can sleep, he can rest. A lot of times I will go and get in the room, and get in the bed just so he can fall asleep peacefully. And then I'll get up, go back downstairs, frolic, but he'll wake up. Like when I get up and go to work sometimes and he has an off day, I'll go to work. I'm at work 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. He's calling me 20, 30 minutes after I've left home. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I can't sleep. He up because now I'm not in the bed. If we are both off and we have nothing planned for that day and nothing to do, we will be in that bed till 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because we're getting the sleep and the peace that we need because we're both together. Cammy says, my husband told me when we first started dating, don't expect me to be romantic because I don't know how. So I don't expect it.
Like me.
But he makes me happy. So
I'm like, bro, just tell me and I'll do all that.
So let me say this. Let me just say this though, to all the women who are going through this same struggle.
Compile a list. Do what we telling you. Make a list.
I can't even argue with what he's saying because
do what we telling you. Make a list, slide it on his desk and say, pick anything you want on that list.
Yep.
And then
you have to teach. You listen,
and then let me know what the hell it is.
Just like you mentioned earlier, is the person trainable? If you have to train him. So let me say this: the 80-20 rule, right? You got 80% at home, and that 20% this person isn't giving you, but that 20%, ladies and gentlemen,
is trainable.
Let me tell you this: that 20%, ladies and gentlemen, I need for y'all to hear me when I say this. Like, zoom in. That 20% is trainable. It's teachable. It's moldable. I'm going to teach you to give me that 20% that I like, so I'm not going to go seek it. And yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes work. But guess what? When it's done, the other day for what was it? What was it? I don't know what it was. Our anniversary. He comes home with 2 dozen red D-Thorn long stem roses.
I think one of them had a thorn on it because
I did get bit.
I'm about to sue their ass.
I got bit. I did. I got bit.
It said on the damn ticket that it was D-Thorn. So somebody didn't do their motherfucking job.
So let me just say this. I melted because I love that. I love being brought roses and flowers and just randomly. I love that. I'm a sucker for that stuff. So when I told my husband that, it was one of those, note to self. I like edible arrangements.
She just like to eat. My wife likes snacks.
This is true.
She's a snack ass.
This is true.
Yeah, I lured her in with Snicker bites.
He did.
I was like, look, just follow these.
He came to the house. He had some Snickers, Doritos. He had all that shit. Yeah. Kemi says Enoch doesn't plan anything. Enoch is more of an all of a sudden let's do type person. I love that spur of the moment. Oh, I love that type of shit. He doesn't plan anything. So I guess because he doesn't plan anything, he just like, that's not being romantic, but he'll come home and then get dressed and we'll go to dinner. If he doesn't understand that, to me, that is being romantic. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm a fucking movie. Like seriously, I love the wining and the dining and the massages, the candles, the soft music, the champagne, if I were to come home and he had rose petals leading to the couch or whatever, and we had a little picnic and we had some soft music and candles, I'd be like, like I'm a sucker for that stuff because that's how I like spending my time. But I'm an intellectual too. I like to have good conversation.
And if a movie don't have nobody getting kicked in their mouth, I'm probably not watching it.
He not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it is.
We did see one romantic movie one time because he talked shit. Remember, it was with
I don't remember.
I can't think of the name of it. It was Silver Lining or something like that.
I don't remember.
And we went to go see it, and he was just like, and we went to go see the movie, and the movie was good. Because I like romantic comedy. I'm a comedy person. I like romance.
She like them lifestyle
style movies. I like anything that's based on a true story.
And I'm like, just because it say it's based on a true story don't mean it's a true story. She like them movies. I want to see somebody get kicked in their mouth because that's what I be wanting to do all week anyway.
This man,
kick somebody in their mouth.
This man will go to sleep with John Wick 3 playing loud as hell.
Yeah. That's good sleep right there.
I'm
you
like,
got guns ablazing and helicopters flying through and all that stuff. And
here I am.
That's good sleep.
Here I am. I fall asleep and I wake up to and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm over there smiling, sleep, happy.
And I'm looking at him like, I know you fucking lying. Like, how you gonna just? So now I'm like, so I used to get mad. Remember when I used to wake you up? I'm like, turn the TV down. I would wake him up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, turn the TV down.
She did it on purpose. She could have turned it down.
Yep. I'm like, if you gonna fall asleep with niggas blowing up buildings,
turned it down
and AR-72s.
But no, that evil Libras.
The evil Libras
just jump out and go, I'm gonna wake him up just to tell him to turn it down.
I am what you make me.
No,
listen,
lies.
Disclaimer, if you don't know me.
She's about to fib. This is a fib warning.
I match energy. If you come at me a certain way,
fib warning.
That's what you get.
Fib warning.
I'm just now as I get older, I'm a little bit more disciplined.
Fib warning.
I'm a little bit more disciplined about how I do it. But trust me, if you come at me sideways, it's gonna be.
I can't come at you no way if I'm asleep.
If John Wick and this damn dog is running around blowing up buildings,
he loved dogs
at 3 o'clock in the morning.
John Wick loved dogs,
and you got it on surround sound.
And
I gotta get up at 5, 6 o'clock.
The first movie, he unalived like 72 people because of matter of fact, when we
get
the
out
first
here, scene, you finna go watch John Wick.
We gonna watch John Wick. We gonna watch the whole series.
Yeah, here we go.
And so about 700 people died on that.
So Jordan says, fast cars, guns, and lots of kicks to the mouth.
Love it.
Cammy says, I don't like bro. I don't like bro. I like the action type movies. She says, I'm like, oh, okay. Don't take me to no huggy, kissy type movie. That's because you a thug, sis. You are a fucking thug.
Cammy,
you are a dog. Beautiful 18-wheel pushing thug.
You my dog. Cammy, you my dog.
Chris says, I use boring documentaries to fall asleep. It's not even the topic, the narrator, like the college professor that puts everyone to sleep in class. That's the voice I need to
He said
Cammy is a gangster. You have Chris.
Yeah, she's a gangster
Chris.
for sure.
You don't even know, bro. You don't even know. But we go get into the next video because again, the double standards are a real thing, y'all. And we talking about I'm gonna do this one last. We talking about the fact that some women don't, whether they understand it or not, or agree with it, or whatever, they act like either it don't exist or it shouldn't exist. And I'm like, well, I mean, we're not equal. So she said drop kick on point.
For sure. For sure. It's called the back brain kick. Sorry.
The back brain kick.
The back brain kick. That's an old wrestling move.
First and foremost, we're not equal. So there's going to be a double standard simply because we are not equal. And there's people out there that's fighting for equality and weird shit when it comes to men and women. And I'm like, why are you fighting for that amongst men and women? Because he doesn't have a uterus and I don't have a penis. That alone makes us unequal.
I don't want to be from Uranus anyway. So.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not from Uranus, sir. It's not what's happening. All right, y'all. Check this one out.
Today is jealous of the average woman today because of the money. When we go out and the women get in free and they don't pay for stuff, or when women go on dates and not paying for stuff, they have resentment towards that. They try to put women on the
we go.
equal, like it's an equalizer, like men and women are the same. Men and women are not the same. I gotta pay 100 to get in, and she don't. What's the difference between me and her? It's just like, you think you're the same as a woman?
So men have never been crying for equality. So
Until today. The average man today is jealous of the average woman today because of the money. When we go out and the women get in free and they don't pay for stuff, or when women go on dates, they're not paying for stuff, they have resentment towards that. They try to put women on the equal, like it's an equalizer, like men and women are the same. Men and women are not the same. I gotta pay 100 to get in, and she don't. What's the difference between me and her? It's just like, you think you're the same as a woman?
So men have never been.
Look, women is fought for equality only when it matters. So when they get a job, when they go get a job, they want to get paid as like if you on a TV show and the anchor's getting 100,000, she thinks she should get 100,000 because she got 5 more degrees than he got.
Mm-hmm.
She want equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all want equality, when you come to the club, nigga, you need to pay.
Or
you can't have equality and chivalry at the same time.
It don't work.
You can't have both.
And this is say that one more time.
You can't have equality and chivalry at the same time.
Listen, I'd rather you open my door.
So you like chivalry.
I rather you open my door. I rather you pull out my chair. I rather you walk on the correct side of the street. I rather you make sure I'm safe. I rather you make sure that I'm protected, I'm cared for,
Right.
I'm taken care of. That's what I rather.
So women,
I ain't trying to match pockets.
What women don't understand,
I don't give a damn about that.
What women don't understand is that equality equates to your own protection. Chivalry equates to having protection.
Right.
Meaning that protection is being provided. When you're equal, I'm not gonna dive on no fucking bomb for you.
Right.
You equal.
You better dive.
You better dive on it for me.
Right.
Or the rest of us that's standing over here.
Right.
And that's what people like that particular segment. I didn't get to see the whole thing.
Right. Again, it's because
that
we're talking
particular
about
segment is
double
where women are
standards.
delusional. They
Mhm.
want to be equal when it comes to certain things,
Mhm.
and then try to say men's is crying because we saying this is not equal, like
Right.
child support, like getting in the club for free. Like, okay, if we equal,
Right.
if everybody equal, why ain't everybody paying?
Why? And so again, taking it back to where this all started, this whole women's lib thing. I think what it honestly was a bunch of the butch bitches who was like, we could do just as good as
Okay,
a
well,
man.
I'm glad you said that because we can start getting into other subjects before you get to that other video.
Because
Look,
this is gonna be the last video. It's a good one too.
So Title IX, everybody's talking about like this DEI stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DEI stuff. The reason why DEI is being attacked, it's not because of black folks. It's because of these other folks that jumped on the movement, just like Title IX. So we started the black folks started the equal rights movement, and
why did they start it?
They started it because we wasn't getting no
because
equal
we
rights.
wasn't getting equal
Right.
rights.
They kept making laws within the states
to make us unequal,
to combat us from getting rights that was supposed to be due to us when they made the 14th Amendment.
So hold on, but
no, let me
human
get to
rights.
Title IX.
But hold on,
human
just
rights.
Human rights.
Right.
There we
Okay.
go.
Title IX, they added where the women's movement moved in.
Mm-hmm.
They added the Title IX so they could add women to the thing,
Mm-hmm.
which added, and then Title IX,
turned in
the lighter hue women
Mm-hmm.
jumped on it and made it their whole little thing, and then the darker hue women said, "Yeah, that's what we want," and then they didn't reap the benefit from it.
Right.
Right. Same thing with DEI. DEI was set up to basically uplift and put another pillar under the affirmative action and the rest of that other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it can make everyone at the workplace,
Mhm.
because that's what DEI is for the workplace. It has nothing
Mhm.
to do else with anything else. At the workplace, and to prop up what affirmative action and all the rest of that stuff did. Then Obama and them
Mm-hmm.
allowed the others, the alphabet people,
Mm-hmm.
come in and hijack that movement by putting in laws underneath DEI.
And we didn't say nothing about
so
it.
then they disrespect and shit on a president that don't care about the alphabet people.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, okay, so you want to talk mess? I'm going to take away what gave you your rights in the first place. I don't think it has nothing to do with black folks. I don't think it has nothing to do with anybody else, but his what do you call it, where he zeroes in on someone who said something to him and pissed him off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the LGB ABCDFGs plus 6 plus 9 alphabet number.
2 second and third cousin.
It was them people that pissed him off, and then everyone lost out on those particular laws, except for people who look like you and I. Because the real laws, see, executive orders and laws are two different things.
Yep. This is for the people in the back. I hope y'all paying attention to what he's saying, because a lot of people probably don't understand. Hope you're paying attention to what he's saying, because what he's saying is nothing but facts.
What Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Eric B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, all them other dudes, is they put laws in for the effects that was propped up by executive orders after the fact, to strengthen so who we really should be mad at is the people who made executive orders instead of putting it through Congress back in the day.
Exactly.
So y'all mad at the wrong folk.
Yeah, because an executive order can be changed.
Executive orders can be changed by the next president.
Exactly.
Period. He don't need Congress to do that.
Exactly.
So a president puts in an executive order to prop up something that was good.
Right.
Right. And then other people hijacked it on the executive order,
right?
Not on the law that actually supports what's going on.
Right.
Right. So then they get upset when he goes, you know what? It was an executive order that did it. Then I'm just going to take it off because he don't have to go to Congress to do it.
Right. But what
I'm saying,
people in the back.
So for all the people who is mad at something that happened to do with Title IX or something that has to do with DEI, where were you when that president at that time propped that stuff up and you didn't make him take it to Congress so it could become a law like the 14th, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment? Yeah. Where was y'all at?
Yeah. Because again, we the people. Chris said, I demand equality and will accept nothing less from any human biological female. Any human biological female. I love the biological female part.
And some of the things that the current president has done when he's talking about
Adam said he walked away for a minute. He says, oh damn, we back on politics.
Adam, you crazy. I wasn't trying to get on politics because we're supposed to be talking about something else. But what I'm saying is
I triggered it.
Right.
She crashing out.
She triggered it because where it correlates is that people hijack movements, and then when it go away, like with the girl, she wants equality here, but she don't want it there.
That don't work. Listen, let me just say this: either you're gonna be a man or you're gonna be a woman.
Right, but that's
Which
not what
one
I'm saying.
is it?
That's not what I'm saying. They're saying that they want equality, but you have at the law, as the law stood, and when Title IX was out, you either had to have equality as a man or equality as a woman, right? When DEI hit the scene from an executive order, right? Executive order hit, they said, and this was in 2021, I think Biden, it was either 2020 or 2021 when Biden hit the scene, he basically tried to prop up DEI and allow more rights for the alphabet people to infiltrate like Title IX was with the women's movement. You see what I'm saying?
Basically, what it was is they was jumping on the bandwagon that didn't belong to them.
Right. And so
because you already listen, and not to cut you off, because you LGBT, whatever, you already got rights and liberties and equalities
as a man or a woman.
As a man or a woman.
Right.
Now you're trying to have rights as a whatever you claiming to be. Now you're trying to make it to where, well, you have to call me a they. Well, I identify as this.
And let me jump in on what you're saying.
Fuck
so
that.
What could it would have been cool if you would have just took your right to get married, right to to have.
And I get that. If that's what you want to do,
whatever.
Listen, if we 2 men or 2 women, and I want to make sure that my house is left to my husband or my wife, and they can't come take it or whatever, because we built this for 20, 30 years. I get that.
Right. But not like, so you get the right to get married with Biden and his crew. I mean, not Biden, but Obama and his crew allowed you to get married. And then they added where you can get medical now if you get married and all that stuff, which is whatever.
I get it.
Like wasn't nobody mad at that.
Nobody.
It was when you tried to infiltrate everyone and then making them do what y'all turned into Hitler instead of being, you know what, now let's just get along.
Now we good.
He was like, now you got to call me this. Now you got to do this.
Right.
Now you got to do this. Oh, by the way, in school, now they got to teach this. Oh, by the way, and when I take my kids to go see a Disney movie, I got to see some gay stuff going on.
Right.
Like, no.
Now you took this shit too far.
You're taking this shit too far. You should have took what you got
and shut the fuck up.
And shut up.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the other stuff.
Real quick, he off his tangent now. Adam says Washington used executive orders. Problem with anything regarding legislation, especially legislation that marginalize liberty, they rarely get changed or altered for the greater good.
I know if you look at when the executive orders went through, which president it was and what Congress was in those particular states, you knew exactly that Congress wasn't going to pass this shit in the first place.
Yep.
And that's why it was an executive order.
Yep. Chris, this line right here is everything. Chris says it was designed for blacks. Then it lost its value slowly over time,
right?
As they kept adding more and more subgroups to the equation. And the problem was, Chris, blacks didn't say nothing.
We didn't go in there and say,
hold on.
Man.
You're not doing that. You're not riding our coat for this. Yeah.
If they want to build, they need to have their own bill.
You better build your own. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. He says they marginalized black young men can't compete with a white guy wearing a fucking dress with a Paul Bunyan beard and lipstick.
You're right, Chris.
Let me say that again for the people in the back. The marginalized black young man can't compete with a white guy wearing a fucking dress with a Paul Bunyan beard and lipstick. You're right, Chris. Totally right. So I'm gonna read Adams and then we're gonna get back to where we was at. Congress is a longer progress than executive orders. That's why all legislation should be tested for its advocacy at the lowest levels first and not federal.
Right. And that's why it should go into Congress.
Totally. Chris says, I disagree with you, Treasure. Blacks supported adding minorities over the years. They still do it now. But that's what I'm saying. We didn't say,
we didn't say that.
You're not doing that on our bill.
Right.
You're not doing that with what we.
That's the problem we're talking
because
about.
That's what we're saying.
So let me lay it out for him.
Go ahead.
Chris, the biggest problem that we're having on from what I'm seeing on television or streaming.
Adam says that goes for all of us.
Is that they're saying that Donald Trump is racist for removing these bills against black folks. But the problem I'm saying is if we would have never let anybody ride these coattails, he would have never acted on these bills.
Yeah, because he's not mad at black folks. He mad at the
LGBT plus HPQs and the rest of them fools.
Because he's like, why is you sitting here letting babies get sex changes and telling them a boy he could be a girl?
Right.
Why is you in the school talking about this kid can talk to this teacher privately and not
and
tell
it goes
the parent?
against so basically it
goes against God's law.
One person got pulled over in the car, and then everybody went to jail. That's what happened with that. With one executive order. He said, nope, this is what it's going to be.
Yep. But we're going to get into this last video because this is a good one. Y'all going to like this one. Hold on, let me make sure I got it pulled up. Y'all ready for this one?
Man should never hit a woman.
Why not? Why?
Why should a man hit a woman?
To protect himself.
That you think a man should hit a woman?
Should a woman hit him? Yes, I do.
I don't think violence is the answer to anything.
No, in protection, he's self-defense. Let's say a woman, he shouldn't just go around hitting her just for no reason.
Yeah.
But let's say that, should women hit men?
No.
Right. So if a woman should hit a man, shouldn't he smack her back?
No.
Why not?
Because she's a girl.
Well, she doesn't know that.
But I just think that's unfair.
So if a woman smack a man, what should he do?
He probably deserved it, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you want me to play this game?
And she should be next.
Right.
Okay, how anybody feel? She should be next. If an Asian woman supposed to look young for a long time, she don't. That's why you don't listen to women who wear dollar store sweaters. Don't listen to them.
Because men should never hit a woman.
Let it
Why
ride,
not?
woman.
Why?
Why should a man hit a woman?
To protect himself.
That you think a man should hit a woman?
Should a woman hit him? Yes, I do.
I don't think violence is the answer to anything.
No, in protection, he's self-defense. Let's say a woman he shouldn't just out hit her just for no reason.
Yeah.
But let's say that should women hit men?
No.
Right. So if a woman should hit a man, shouldn't he smack her back?
No.
Why not?
Because she's a girl.
Well, she doesn't know that.
But I just think that's unfair.
So if a woman smack a man, what should he do?
He probably deserved it, to be honest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you want me to play this game?
And she should be next.
Wait a minute. So she said he probably deserved it. Wow. Okay.
Is that how women think? Like the majority of them?
Let me say this. I have a brother who was incarcerated for defending himself. His situation was they got into an argument. He wanted to leave the house to go cool off. She became aggressive. She refused to let him leave. She sat in front of the door every time he tried to go out of the door to cool off so that they can talk about it later cordially and respectfully. She started slapping him in his face, calling him bitches and punks. You ain't shit, this, that, and the third. He hit her to get her off of him, and he went to prison for several years because of it. This goes back to the whole equality thing. You want to be equal and you want to man up, square off with a man, and think you finna knock the shit out this man and he don't get to hit you back because you a woman. You have lost your fucking mind. And I support him dogging your ass if you think that's what you finna do. Because no, I do not condone a man putting his hands on a woman unless it is in self-defense. Because some of these women think they men. Some of these women think because they bigger than their significant other, they gonna do and treat him like they gonna belittle him and he's still not a man. And you forget whether you big or small or not, this is still a man you dealing with. Where's the respect on just that alone? You getting in this man's face, calling him all kind of out of his name, cussing him out, telling him he not a man, and then gonna put your hands on him, and then you expect, and as soon as he protects himself and gets you off of him, now you went, oh my God, I can't believe you hit me. I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah,
bitch, why you ain't call the police before that?
That's a habitual Karen.
So listen. Y'all can call it what you want. Like I say, you're going to be pissed off. But if you think for 1 second, if you finna get up in a man's face and put yourself in a position like you are a man and you put your hands on him thinking you finna fight him, he need to beat your ass so you can learn and understand not to ever do that again. And I said it. Go run, tell that. I said it.
She said it. She said it, y'all. Yeah,
Chris says I didn't hit them. He said this happened to me so many times and I didn't hit them. And Chris, I respect you for that, bro. I really do. I respect
Chris, but I'm like, bro,
let me tell you why I respect it. Because
it come a time when they need to get thumped.
They do.
And I ain't telling you to beat the brakes off of them.
Let me tell you why I respect it.
A nice stiff arm, you know.
Well, hold on.
Good push.
Let me tell you why I respect it. Because it took a certain level of discipline for you to go. Because here's the thing. It's the same thing with abusing these animals. A horse knows he can kill you. A bear knows he can kill you. They choose not to, even though you up here dogging them out. Like that pit bull that you kicking and hitting and dogging out. That nigga know he could do some damage to you, but he's loyal to you.
I'm a fond believer of keeping your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself, man.
Keep your hands
to yourself because
keep your feet to yourself.
Because you don't get to say, I want equality and call yourself getting into a man's face thinking you finna fight him. And then the moment he protects himself from your crazy deranged ass. You know what I'm saying? That's not how this works.
Choose what you want to be equal on. Can't be like, oh, we equal here because it benefits you, and then we not equal here because it don't benefit you.
Absolutely, that's that double standard shit. Kemi said, I told my son, protect yourself.
Protect yourself at all.
Chris said, I let it go, but I'm done with a woman that does that. She never comes through my door again. Absolutely. Yeah. And this goes back to us saying that you got to vet people properly to understand. Listen. Somebody was talking about something the other day. He says in 18 months, you know whether or not you can marry that person or not.
I believe that. You know if they,
I believe it
if
too.
they
Let me
worthy
tell
or
you
not.
why. Let me
You
tell
know if
you.
they teachable. You know if they handle things
Yes,
the way they're supposed
Auntie.
to handle things.
Auntie says that's right. Keep your hands to yourself. So listen, let me tell you this. 18 months, you definitely, I agree with this, and this is why. In the 6 months, that's the honeymoon phase. You're so in love with each other. You, oh my God, you're amazing. Everything that person do is cute. It's this, is that. There was a lot of things that this man did that I thought was cute until I didn't. And I was like, this shit ain't cute no more. I'm sick of this. Right? But when you go through the seasons, summer, spring, fall, winter, anger, upset, sad, depressed, happy, emotional, non-emotional, you got to see what this person, who they are. And so you got to vet them accordingly. And if you go through the seasons with them, you get to see what they like in the summer. You get to know if that chick you dealing with dresses like a hoe because it's hot or not. You get to find that out. You get to know that when a person has some downtime or some off time, and when they go visit their family and friends, and you get to see them at their family reunion, whatever it may be, you get to see who they are. So in 18 months, you know whether or not you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person or not, especially if you vet them accordingly in that time frame. But on this double standard thing, let me say this as some of my final thoughts for the night, because we're getting ready to wrap this thing up.
And I need to thank the people who hit the likes and stuff.
And we'll tell you guys about the next show that's going to be coming up next week. It's going to be a doozy. But on this double standard thing, basically I say this, I say it a lot. We need, especially in relationships, for a man or a woman in a relationship, there's going to be a double standard because we are not equal. And neither should we claim to be equal. We shouldn't even want to be equal because we are not. There's things that biologically my body does that his cannot. There's things that his body does biologically that mine's cannot. And that's why it takes two to become one, right? I need him to help me raise my kids, just like he needs me to help raise the kids and nurture and blah, 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 right? So one of the things that I want us to all be able to do moving forward is give each other grace. And let me say it like this. You're in a relationship and you get upset because this man or this woman has done something that's not to your liking or whatever, or they're not performing the way you feel they need to perform. Something is going on with their mental, whatever that may be. You're in a relationship with this person, so you agree to commit to them whether you're married or not. And if you're married, you took an oath in front of God, in front of your peers, in front of yourself. You took an oath. When you take this oath and you say, listen, I vow to be this, that, and the other through thick or thin, better or worse, sickness and health till death do us part. You swore on that oath. How dare you not give this person grace when they're at their worst? Because God gave you grace. God gives you grace every single day. So how dare you not give grace to somebody else that you claim to love when they're at their worst, when they're not feeling as good today as they normally feel? Maybe they're not thinking correctly because they're going through something that in that moment. How dare you not give them grace when God gives it to your punk ass every day for your indiscretions? Listen, we got to do better. We got to do better as a community. We got to do better as a people. We got to learn to protect our women. We got to learn to protect our men. This man is under my protection just like I'm under his. We are one. I say it all the time, man. You have to be conscious of what you're doing because karma is going to come for you. You can't take an oath and vow to be something and then say, nah, I'm pissed off. I ain't finna do that. You got issues. Because what happens when you have your issues? What happens when you're down? I've been at a bad point in my life and where I broke and I didn't know what to do. He was there to pick me up. He was there to wipe off the bruises and the wounds and to fix on me and the doctor on me and to love on me. So he gave me grace when I wasn't at my best. So how dare I not give it to him when he might not be at his best, when maybe he's in his feelings about something or his emotions? How dare I when God gives it to me every day?
Y'all got to understand that, you know, when you're giving out grace, that you don't want to give. Yes, grace can't run out for people who don't want to try and change to make better things happen. I understand that part. But if they doing and they just fall for that moment and you kick them to the curb, that's not cool. But if they continue, they habitual line steppers, then you just got to love them enough to let them go.
A habitual, if you listen, habitual line steppers.
If you a habitual line stepper,
you a problem, dude.
You just got to love them enough and say, you know what, I love you, but you know, I got to let my people go. I got to let you go. Let me give a shout out to these people real quick.
Do your thing.
Thank you for the love. Beverly Haynes, John Hargrave. Thank you for the like. Benny Jackson, Adam LaRosa,
Benny,
Chris Thiesgen, Kashawn Barnett, and Kevin Quick Smith. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Chris, listen, when a woman tells you she won't settle, she gonna be single for the rest of her life, bro. It don't even matter.
Yeah, she gonna be single, bro.
Listen, before we get out of here, we want to put these questions up here. So if y'all have questions, you got about 5 minutes to ask them.
We about to close out the
go. But next week is going to be very interesting. Let me say this to y'all. Run and tell your people, grab your friends, grab your girlfriends, your wives, your daughters, your sisters, your mamas, grab everybody, because next week we're going to end out Women's Month with a very special topic. And the topic is named Raising Women to Be Single, or Raising Girls to Be Single. It's something that we don't talk about. It's something that is happening every day, not understanding what we're doing. Listen, I have made mistakes as a parent, as all of us have, where you think you're doing the right thing because you don't know any better. When you realize that what you're doing is detrimental to the well-being of that child growing up, because they're going to grow up with a different thought process. They're going to grow up to think that this is okay. They're going to grow up not understanding that there's a flip side to this coin. Teaching you to be strong is one thing, but teaching you to think you don't need nobody and this, that, and the third, and you're going to be, I'm basically teaching you to be a man. But we're going to get into it next week. Raising girls to be single, raised to be single. That's going to be our topic next week. So y'all tell a friend, tag a friend, chime on in. It's going down. If y'all ain't got no questions, don't ask. No questions.
If you don't have any questions, man, I'm Sean Cheltenham, and I'm one of the hams, y'all.
I am Treasure Cheltenham, and I too am one of the hams, and this is the Ham. We're supposed to say it together, baby.
No, just say it.
Oh my God. This is the Ham Show.
This is the Ham Show, y'all. Y'all chime in every week.
Wednesday
nights.
Hump Day.
8 p.m.
Live
with us.
On YouTube and Facebook.
On YouTube. And y'all have a good night. Please be safe.
Appreciate you.
And if anybody's seen Joel out there, because last time we spoke to him, he was traveling.
Yeah, man.
And we ain't heard nothing back from him.
Send our love, man.
Hopefully, he got to where he needed to be. And he'll hit us up.
And we still looking for Reggie.
Yeah, we still looking.
Reggie still owe us $20.
I still ain't found Reggie from the bet we made about the presidential candidate.
Yeah, we still looking for Reggie. So if y'all see Reggie,
just tell him to loan me $20. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we love y'all too. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace and blessings to you. And one love.
One love, y'all. Have a good evening. Peace.
Yeah.
I can't find the outro stuff. Where is it at?